Music.
$75
You got it.
right there now. Y'all look at that shade on that. He's singing for it.
You got it.
Right there. I don't see no bids.
Bid to buy. TJ.
Fluted boasters.
Let's make it make sense. Bid to buy. You got it, bid. Hey, now let's see some bid. They got me on EBT.
We got it all down.
Now, what you want to hear about?
All right, this is one of my church members here, Brother Mike Hendrickson. He's from Middlesboro, Kentucky, the old hillbilly from up there in Kentucky. And Brother Mike is not only just my church member, he's my friend, and he's a regular here at Deep South, ain't you? Pretty regular around here.
Yeah, I like to come visit.
And he can tell some tales now, and they pretty well all of them true as far as I know. He says they are anyhow.
They're true.
Hold up your finger, Brother Mike. Hold up. Y'all see that little pinky finger right there? Tell them what happened to that thing, Brother Mike. Tell them.
Well, I was 5 years old. We had a 4th of July picnic, family gathering, and some neighbor folks there come. We had a big cookout. All the grown-ups, of course, back then, grown-ups gathered up over around the food and talked, and the kids had to go on off somewhere else and play. So there was a boy there. His name was Stevie Earl. He was a neighbor of ours. He was 10 years old. I was 5. And there was some hedges around these people's house where we were cooking out. Hedges grew up, had a flat top on them. And some of the limbs were growing up out of the top of those hedges, and Stevie was taking a pair of hedge clippers and clipping those long stems out. I was on the other side of the hedges, and I would reach up and get the limbs, pull them off, throw them down. I reached up about time he snipped, and he snipped my finger out. It went up in the air, fell down right at my feet. I looked up, Stevie was going toward the house, just a squalling. I didn't do it, I didn't do it. So I picked my finger up, put it in my shirt pocket, and it wasn't bleeding much at all, just a little drop of blood every once in a while. And far as I can remember, I don't believe it hurt at all. But anyway, I had a aunt, her name was Frances, and if the wind blowed, she'd faint. She'd faint, and I didn't know what it was. She was laying over there in a lawn chair drinking some iced tea. I walked over to her. I said, Aunt Frances? She said, honey, you go back over there now with the kids and play. Us grown-ups were talking over here. You run along. I said, well, I need to show you. She said, go on now. So I just pulled my finger out, showed it to her. She fainted. Fell out of the lawn chair, hit the ground. So she had a brother there. His name was Jack, my uncle. He was one of the first ones over there. What happened to Frances? I just kind of shook my head. They all started gathering around there. They got a wet rag, kind of washing their face a little. Well, my finger was dripping blood just a little, and it dripped a few drops on her face. Jack said, oh my goodness, she's bleeding. There's something wrong with her. And one of the other ladies said, no, that's coming out of Michael's hand there. I said, I tried to tell you, Stevie cut my finger out. Oh, they went wild then. They got my finger and wrapped it up in a towel or put it in some ice or something, and off to the hospital we went. Well, back then, there wasn't but one doctor in the emergency room, Dr. Kirkpatrick. He had a white handlebar mustache, and he was on duty. I guess the only doctor, but anyway, they didn't give you sodium pentothal back in them days. They put a gas mask on you to put you to sleep. They laid me down there and put that mask on me, knocked me out, sewed my finger back on. And I woke up sometime later. Like I say, it's been so many years ago, hard to remember, but I woke up, I was in a room by myself, and I looked, and that finger was black and blue, had stitches in it, and it was all bent over kind of and swelled up. So I started trying to straighten it up, and I'd pull it, straighten it up, turn it loose, it'd go back down. I finally tore the stitches loose. So Dr. Kirkpatrick come back in there, oh, he's mad. He put me back to sleep again, took that finger off, sewed it up. So I went home, and that was July of the year before I started to school. So I started school just in a few months after that in first grade. My grandmother was my first grade school teacher. But I went to school with that finger cut off, and I figured out pretty quick all the kids were interested in looking at that finger. I started charging them a nickel a piece to touch it. And it wasn't long. I had a pocket full of nickels. Everybody line up, feel of that finger, you know. But Stevie went on, the boy that cut my finger off. He went on, grew up to be the pastor of Ponca City Baptist Church, First Baptist Church of Ponca City, Oklahoma, which was the biggest Baptist church in the state of Oklahoma back then. But of course, he enjoyed telling that tale to his congregation all through the years. But anyway, that's where my finger went.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's the end of that.
There you go.
And the finger. That's all I got for now.
What
That's all.
you said about the Hatfields and McCoys?
Oh,
What you said about the Hatfields and McCoys? You talking about the McCoys?
I don't want to tell that one.
We're waiting.
you did.